Hello everyone, thank you for being here. My name is Makoto Sageda. Online, I go by Mr. Rabbit. I'm an independent researcher with a strong interest in cybersecurity. I build tools and test defense ideas in my free time. I'm also involved in security education. I serve on the executive team of the InfoSec workshop in Echigo Yuzawa, one of Japan's most respected cybersecurity events. Today, I'd like to introduce a system I created. It's called Azazel. It doesn't block attacks, it delays them. Because in cyber defense, time is not just a resource, it can be a strategic advantage. Let's begin. Let me walk you through today's mission. We'll start with the philosophy, the thinking behind delay tactics in both warfare and cyber defense. Next, I'll give you an overview of Azazel, what it is, where the idea came from, and how it ties into that philosophy. Then we'll dive into its structure and logic, both hardware and software. After that, I'll show you a recorded demo, so you can see how Azazel works in the field. We'll then look at its key benefits and use cases, when and where it can be deployed effectively. And finally, I'll close with a call to action, inviting you to explore tactical delay as a new mindset for cyber defense. Now, let's talk philosophy. Because behind Azazel, there's more than just engineering. There's intent, a tactical mindset. In the next few slides, I'll walk you through the core idea, why delaying the enemy matters, in both war and cyber defense. Let's look at how delaying action works, not in theory, but in real battles. In World War II, US forces expected Peleliu to fall in 4 days. It took 73. Iwo Jima was planned as a one-week operation. It dragged on for over a month. These delays weren't accidental. They were tactical. The defenders used terrain, tunnels, and attrition, not to win, but to stretch the fight and drain momentum. That shift in tempo tied down US units. It broke their rhythm. This is the power of delay. Not stopping the enemy, but disrupting the plan. And that's the mindset Azazel was built on. Not to fight harder, but to make the adversary pay. In time. Most cybersecurity tools are built to stop threats, to block, isolate, or shut them down. Azazel takes a different path. Instead of trying to overpower the attacker, it slows them down. On purpose. Because every second the attacker is delayed, we gain something. A clearer picture of their tactics, a chance to respond with precision, and time to warn others before the damage spreads. In this way, delay becomes leverage. Azazel doesn't claim to eliminate the threat, but it creates space, tactical space, where defenders can act on their terms. And in cyber defense, that small window of time may be all you need. Let's begin with what Azazel really is. Not just a tool, but a tactical concept. The first idea for Azazel didn't come from a cybersecurity paper. It came from anime. Ghost in the Shell. They had something called a labyrinth barrier, a kind of cyber shield that takes the hit when someone tries to hack your brain. Fans often call it a dummy barrier. That idea stuck with me. Something smart and brave enough to take the fall. So I thought, why not build one for real? Let's be clear. Azazel is not a deception trap. Traditional deception works by creating illusions. Fake services, fake systems, to lure attackers away from real assets. Azazel doesn't do that. Instead, it performs what we call a cyber delaying action. It detects incoming threats, it takes the hit, and then it slows the attacker. Using delays, reroutes, and distractions. There's no sandbox here. No honeynet. Just one real device, placed in harm's way, to intercept the enemy and buy you time. That's not deception. That's tactical resistance. By design. The name Azazel comes from ancient Hebrew texts. In the ritual of Yom Kippur, a goat, the scapegoat, was symbolically loaded with the sins of the people and sent out into the wilderness. It was meant to carry away danger, misfortune, and guilt. That's what Azazel does here too. It draws the threat, it takes the hit, so your real systems can stay clean, safe, untouched.
So, what is Azazel? It's not a firewall. It's not a honeypot. It's a cyber scapegoat gateway, a system designed to be attacked so your real assets stay safe. It detects threats. It delays attackers using controlled latency. And sometimes it misleads them completely. It's small, portable, tactical, built on Raspberry Pi and open source tools. Azazel is built to take the hit and buy you time. So, how does Azazel actually work? We've talked about the concept. We've explored the philosophy. Now, let's open the hood. In this section, I'll walk you through the core components, the decision flow, and how everything works together, from detection to delay to diversion. This is how Azazel works. It runs on a Raspberry Pi 5, using only open source tools. No server, no cloud, fully offline. Inside, Suricata inspects all traffic. When it detects a threat, it triggers Python logic, which can slow the attacker, divert them, or send an alert. You can carry it in your bag. You can deploy it anywhere. And yes, it actually works. Let me show you the software stack that powers Azazel. Everything runs locally on a Raspberry Pi, fully offline and fully modular. Suricata monitors traffic and fires alerts when threats match defined rules. Those alerts go to Python scripts, which respond in 3 ways. They delay the attacker using TC, divert them with IP tables, and send alerts via Mattermost. After diversion, OpenCanary steps in, offering fake services to observe attacker behavior. For enhanced logging and future SIM integration, Vector can be added as an optional module. Each component is replaceable. All of it is open source. And every part is designed for tactical resilience. Azazel is designed to be safe, not just effective. First, it uses high-precision filtering with Suricata, targeting known attack patterns like SSH brute force. Then, it applies a staged response, with thresholds and cooldown timers to prevent false positives. Finally, it limits actions strictly to attacker IPs. Legitimate traffic is never slowed, never diverted. All of this helps minimize the risk of false diversion or misclassification and ensures that Azazel operates with confidence, not chaos. Let me show you what Azazel looks like in the real world. Everything you see here fits in a small bag. It's compact, affordable, and deployable anywhere. At the center is the Azazel unit, a Raspberry Pi 5 running everything locally. You'll also need power, storage, and a network interface, wired or wireless. This isn't a concept. It's a real, working cyber defense tool, fully offline and fully yours. Now that we've covered the ideas and structure behind Azazel, it's time to see it in action. What actually happens when an attack hits Azazel? How does it respond? How does it delay? Let's walk through a quick demo and watch this Cyber Scapegoat do its job. Here's what Azazel looks like in action. This attacker is running a brute force SSH scan. Suricata detects it in real time, and Azazel kicks in. First, traffic from that IP is slowed using TC. Then, it's diverted to a decoy with IP tables. Finally, a Mattermost alert is sent instantly. Meanwhile, OpenCanary keeps watching for further signs of activity. All of this happens offline, autonomously. No human intervention required. We're starting the demo, First, this screen is the attacker screen. The attacker will perform an SSH brute force attack. The screen is changed, and this screen is the Azazel System screen. Let me explain the screen. First, in the red box in the top left corner, the Suricata logs are displayed. Next, in the green box in the top right corner, the Open Canary logs are displayed. Finally, in the blue box in the bottom half of the screen, the Azazel System logs are displayed. Although you don't necessarily need to monitor the system with this kind of screen configuration, it's arranged for the demo. We will start monitoring with the Azazel System. We will start the attack. Please pay attention to the Suricata logs in the top right corner. You can easily see that large amount of access logs are flowing in. Please pay attention to the Azazel System logs in the bottom half of the screen. Azazel has recognized the attack from the Suricata logs and started the delaying action, setting a delay for the attacker's communication using the TC command, and also redirecting the communication to Open Canary using IP tables. Please pay attention to the Open Canary logs in the top right corner. As a result of Azazel redirecting the attacker's communication to Open Canary, you can see that a large amount of access logs are being generated. The attacker has stopped the brute force attack on SSH. Then, on the Azazel System screen, Open Canary, which had been generating a large amount of access logs, suddenly becomes quiet. After the attack is stopped and a certain period of time has passed, Azazel will determine that the threat has subsided and release the delaying action. This screen is the Azazel System notifying the user about the situation using Mattermost after detecting the attack. Alerts from Suricata about the detected threat, alerts from Open Canary, which is being used as a scapegoat, and the status of Azazel System's delaying actions are notified through Azazel. This is just for reference, but Azazel also has a visualization system for monitoring. It has a mechanism to forward logs to a separate laptop. We plan to improve it so that it can be used as a security operations center or a network operations center in the future. So, now that you've seen Azazel in action, let's talk about why you might want to use it. This system wasn't built for theory. It was built for real-world friction, when you need time and control. Let me show you a few situations where Azazel shines. Let's talk about where Azazel should be deployed and why. Azazel isn't just a passive defense, it's a forward-deployed cyber asset, a tactical delay unit that absorbs attacks, buys time, and triggers a response before harm reaches critical systems. It fits well at VPN exits, rogue Wi-Fi zones, CTF labs, or network perimeters. Where risk is high, Azazel stands in the way. When a threat is detected, Azazel can alert a SOC or blue team. That alert gives defenders time to respond, and if needed, it allows law enforcement or CERTs to coordinate countermeasures to contain or neutralize the threat. Because in active cyber defense, delay isn't the goal. It's the opening move. Azazel creates a window for action, a way to turn time into control. Even a small device can shift the balance.
I've shown you the idea, the action. Now, it's your move. You don't need to build Azazel exactly as I did, but I hope you'll take the core concept with you. In cyber defense, think beyond just addiction. Think, delay. Try it. Fork it. Break it. Improve it. And most importantly, share the mindset. Tactical resistance. By design.
In cybersecurity,
We often default to blocking, shutting things down. But what if we thought tactically instead? Azazel isn't here to deny access. It's here to delay, to absorb, to buy time. Think of defense not as a wall, but as a strategic pause that throws off the attacker's rhythm. In cyber operations, time is not just a resource, it's a weapon. And sometimes buying just a few seconds is all it takes to turn defense into control.
All right, that's a wrap. Thanks so much for sticking around and listening to the story of Azazel. On screen, you'll see 3 QR codes for my LinkedIn, my X handle, and the GitHub repo for Azazel. Feel free to connect, explore, or reach out anytime. Huge thanks to the amazing B-Sides LV crew for making this event possible, and special thanks to my mentor, Mr. Oyama, whose guidance was truly invaluable in shaping this talk. And to all of you, thank you again. If you've got questions, now's a great time. Or just come find me after the session. I'd love to chat.